Sir, very recently, a few days ago at Nasik, you made a comment on the economy and you said, and I quote, "The Prime Minister himself is an economic expert, but there is no economic progress in the country." Would it be fair to say that this is an election, as we get into that mood, which will have a serious fallout of what we've seen in the economy? Would you call it an economy election in some way?
Well, in a sense, yes. I would call it an economy election because the people, the people who will vote are the ones who are really worried about their day-to-day existence. Now, they are getting badgered by this continuous rise in prices of all essential commodities. They are getting badgered by this economic slowdown, therefore the employment opportunities have shrunk. And they are not really in a position today to make their ends meet. So they are looking for relief. So what is the possible way out of this crisis? Now that is where we have our disputes with the Prime Minister and his line of thinking. We think there is a way out, which should be tried out, but then that doesn't seem to be the official thinking.
What is this way out, sir, according to you?
You see, at the moment, the government and the Prime Minister, primarily, and all the Planning Commission and the rest, they are concentrating on trying to bring in greater inflows of foreign capital, with the hope that foreign capital inflow will increase the levels of investment, and therefore the levels of employment and growth, etc., which will follow. Now, our point is that this logic doesn't work when you do not have a domestic market which is able to absorb the produce from such increased investment. You have a global, let's say, if not a recession, at least a standstill. Now, in such a situation, unless you direct your energies towards expanding your domestic market, it would not be possible for the economy to revive. Now, how do you do that? There we have been urging the Prime Minister, at least for the last 3 years, to look at what we are suggesting. That you have given now today incentives, so-called incentives, for growth to the corporate sector. The net result of that has been that your manufacturing has come down in the last few months, somewhere to minus 1.6% growth rate. Despite all these incentives, this is it because the manufacturing is not growing, primarily because there is no domestic market.
You have Ganpatis and Durga Puja idols coming in from China.
And
how ironical is that?
It is indeed. And this is what, ultimately the supremacy of the market, so to speak. You have communists in China producing statues of Durga. No, but the point is that we are saying instead of those incentives, you collect your legitimate taxes, invest in public investments, and our economic infrastructure is woeful. Build our roads, build our irrigation channels, do that. That would generate a huge amount of new employment. And once these people have some disposable income in their hands, when they start earning their wages, that is what will give your domestic demand a boost. And on that basis, you can have a sustainable growth trajectory. Now, this is essentially the dispute between the Prime Minister and us. And what he's been following has not been delivering.